Try to learn and understand. I held in the trap. Wish I knew you for. Live long on the land. Never took much when you went on the land. Swear you could survive with your bare hand. Bare hand. Bare hand. Bare hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just landed in Helsinki and Lufthansa would like to welcome you here.
Just arrived in Helsinki airport. We just traveled for 20 hours, maybe more, or somewhere around there, one whole day on the plane. So jumped in a cab. We're gonna head down to our hotel room, check in, and then we'll have a look around. Our first night here in Europe. First time outside of Canada.
We left the airport, checked in the hotel room, had a 1 hour snooze, and then we went to Sonosphere. Metallica, Slayer, and a couple other European bands were playing. A couple of the bands I didn't know, but I went just to go see Metallica because everyone loves Metallica and I listened to them my whole life. So we show up to the beach. It was right along the beach. The water was right there. They had a big, huge stage, big, huge screen. Metallica was playing. There was probably 15,000 people, I'd like to say maybe more. It was a huge crowd. I was never in my whole life around that many people at once. It was pretty crazy and kind of scary. I was nervous. So we went there, we seen Metallica. Once Metallica started playing and everything just loosened up. Everyone had a good time, started dancing, and it was great.
Well, the partnership that we have going with ourselves, Saga and American Legend, is a real game changer for the simple fact that the way the market is now, we're by far the largest consortium of auction houses working together. We got the largest buyer group to attend any auction. We've been consistently drawing the largest crowd all year. And in a market like this, it would be nice to have the fur here on a huge rising market, but it's just as good to have it when the market's depressed a bit too, because you got everybody coming here to buy. And we managed to get very acceptable prices considering the market we're up against.
250, 250 to the right, 250, 260. 260 is here, 260, 270, 270, 280, 280 I got, 280, 290, 290, 300, 300 and bid at 300, all done at 300, 310, 310 and 320, 320, 320, all done at 320.
At the auction house, there was a lot of people from all over the world. I met people from Greece, Britain, America, and even a fellow Canadian from Toronto. They were all there to buy different types of fur. Some people were looking for fox, some people wanted mink, some people wanted link.
The facility here in Finland at Saga Furs here is top of the line facility. Beautiful buildings, lights, and all the equipment. There's a lot of activity, a lot of spirit, a lot of anticipation in the sale here. Very competitive. You really need to look at your goods. No matter what they're graded in the catalogs, you need to look. Fur Harvesters is by far the most accurate description of the goods they have. And from my point of view, looking at all the goods in all the different places, I've always felt that the best quality goods, Fur Harvesters puts up beautiful goods. They're very, very top in the wild fur end of it. Their lynx, their wolves, wolverines, and their lynx cats are top quality mostly. They're buying 90% of cats they're buying is this belly on the lynx cat. Okay. And that belly there is worth 3 times what that belly is worth right there. So when you're trapping them, you know the ones you pick up that are better, more white bellies are worth more money for you.
So white belly and spots.
White belly and spots, yes.
Not my whole life have I ever seen that many pelts. Like, we're talking millions of pelts. Millions of pelts. Fox pelts, mink pelts, beaver pelts, wolverines, lynx, bobcats. There was some fur that I didn't even know that existed from Afghanistan out of all places. It was crazy, it was huge. There was stories and stories of fur all in one place. They hang them like you hang coats on a coat hanger. The way I always looked at the fur trade, I always thought it was like $1 million business. I didn't realize that there was 4,000 buyers and people that took to put on the fur auction. It's such a huge industry. It's a worldwide industry that brings in like billions of dollars, not millions, billions of dollars go into the fur trade. It's nice to know that the fur trade is still alive and everything is running good.
Fur Harvesters NWT wouldn't be possible without Fur Harvesters Auction, selling your fur to the world. Buffalo Airways, the home of the ice pilots. All internet equipment was brought to you by Cascom and Galaxy Broadband, and cruise accommodations were provided by Greenway Realty.
I was just looking through all these Wolverine pelts. I think 3 of mine are at this auction. I was just trying to find one that I did. No. Now see this one here, this kind of looks more like my work, but it isn't. There we go. This is mine. This baby's mine. Definitely one of mine. The 4 tacks on the lips, the borax in the feet. And each one of these claws here, I put the paper in it, I put 2 tablespoons of borax in each claw. Don't go in there. Use lots in there and work it in each toe and get it in there real good. Now these are dried they're just good hard. If you don't use borax, I think it might be pretty tough to dry them. Like, I don't think they would dry as quickly. Let's see, that's right, filled with borax there. This one here was caught in a 330 Connie bear, so there's no holes in them at all. You know, this is a perfect one for taxidermy. This pelt is done for taxidermy to make a full body mount, which means there's everything. This is one complete Wolverine pelt. There's nothing missing from this pelt at all. I did not remove one piece of this Wolverine pelt. When my pelts are drying, the Wolverines especially, every 2 hours, I'll come back and I'll straighten out each claw just to make it look nice. You know, I want my fur to look good, huh? Yeah, this is definitely one of mine. How could I watch this pelt get sold?
Well, while the auction is on, every pelt has a unique, not every pelt, but every lot has a unique number. So in this case, this Wolverine is lot number 17020. So we can actually provide you before the auction with a printout of your fur, and you can watch all of your pelts as they sell in the auction.
We'll have to do that. It's interesting. So that's one of them. Oh, look at that! Look at the crown on him! Oh boy, what a beauty! Look at the bright crown on him. This is a damn nice looking pelt. So in Helsinki, the best way to get around, is by bike. You could travel long distance on bike, cruise around, check out the city, and I'm also a tourist as well. I'm here on business, but the best way to do it is to cruise by bike. So this is how I've been getting around Helsinki. You could get from one side of the town to the other side to the market or whatever very quickly on a bike. It's a good, quick way to get around. So if you're ever in Helsinki, make sure you rent a bike and go for a rip. Sorry.
Yes, boy.
Oh, it's great. It's a beautiful place. Other than the ground's all uneven, it's not flat. My feet are killing me because most of the sidewalks aren't smooth. I'm not used to it. I'm used to walking in the soft mud, the bush. I walked 20 miles in a day hunting plenty of times and my feet never bothered me. I walked 10 miles today and it's real hard on the feet. Yeah, it does make me want to travel, I don't know if I'd come back to Helsinki or not. It just opened up a whole new world to me. I'm used to being in the bush in my own little world by myself, me and Charlie, and not seeing anyone else. Come to a place like this and different culture, different food, different beer, it's totally different. Very different.
We're on lot 53. We'll start them at $14. Anybody? 12 for the whole string, no drop. 12? 12's in there, 12 over 12. Last call at 12. All the way.
I just sat through and watched the beaver get auctioned off. Some beaver sold for $5, $10. I think there's going to be a lot of choppers that aren't too happy with that, but so one lot that mine were in sold for $5. For the amount of time and work that the choppers put into it, not only chopping the fur, but the fuel, processing them, skinning them, fleshing them, stretching them, it takes, so it's time consuming, So they just worked for 3 hours, maybe 2 hours for a $5 pelt.
Things like beaver really depressed markets, really tough to sell them. Anything that's a trim trade item like big heavy red foxes, western coyotes, cats, lynx, they continue to do well because they're a trim trade item. Things that like garment skins such as wild mink, beaver, sables, again, the market's really, really depressed, and when the ranch mink falls 60-70%, you can't expect wild fur to stay the same or rise. It's going to follow suit.
In the Northwest Territories, we have the Genuine Mackenzie Valley Fur Program. So on each pelt, we get a fur advance up front. If the pelt is undamaged for a beaver, we'll get $25 for that pelt. If your beaver pelt sells for less than $25, you don't have to pay it back. The government of the Northwest Territories makes up the difference.
The Genuine Mackenzie Valley Fur Program is the only program in the universe. No other jurisdiction in Canada or in North America or in the world looks after trappers like we do. And when Andrew Brick comes into the office and Jerry hands him a check, it's a fur advance check on the fur that he has supplied us that we can take to market for him, and we will market for him and do our very best to beat that price that we advanced on. And all proceeds that are greater than the advance go back to Andrew also.
For me, it's the fur business is a little like playing poker or gambling. It's my safe way of gambling, I think.
82 bid now. I got it at 82. 84. 84 bid now. 84 now. 86.
It is a very cutthroat industry, one where you can easily gain a lot and from one auction or from 1 year, but just as quick as you gain it, or just as quick as you make that kind of money, you can lose it in a heartbeat.
Closed captioning for this program is brought to you by Fur Harvesters Auction, selling your fur to the world.
I traveled to Estonia and got some history on the country on a tour. They taught me a lot about the history of the country as far back as till the country was founded by the Vikings, I believe. Went on a big, huge cruise ship. Like, there was more people on that cruise ship than there is in my hometown of Hay River, in one little small place. I got lost in that ship for 2 hours. I was walking around to find the washroom, and I got lost. For the Genuine Mackenzie Valley Fur Program, there's a $200 fur advance on a wolverine. I trapped 5 this year, 2 in a snare, 2 in a coney bear, and 1 in a coyote soft catch. So I'm hoping to fetch $400 for my wolverine, but we'll just hope for the best and find out right away.
For the wolverine, start him at 180, 180 a half, 180 the bid, 180, 180 the bid, 180. 200 a half, 200 the bid here, 200 the bid now, 200, 200 the bid, 200, 225 a half, 225 the bid now, 225 the bid, 225 the bid now, 225, 250 number, 250, 240, 240 the bid, 240, 225, 225, 230, 230 the bid, 240 the bid here, 240, 250 the bid, 250, 250 the bid now, 250, 250 the bid now, 250, 250 the bid, 275, 275, 275, 275, and a lot of 2 over 400 again.
300, 3 1/4.
320 the bid all in, 320, 330, 330 back, 330 the bid down, 330, 330 all in, 330.
This trapping season was a long trapping season. It was very cold, you know, like we broke records for this winter on the cold. 1 month it was like 50 below, 60 below with the wind chill. So it was a long, hard winter. The fur wasn't moving around so much. It wasn't as productive as previous years. But all in all, it was a good winter. It was a successful trapping season. I got my wolverines, my link, everything's good. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Standing on the highway, your companion the moon, your last smoke an empty bottle of whiskey, trying to find your way back home. Yeah, home. So you think of your elders and their drum, and you wonder who has learned their song. Well, this land forever remember.
Skidoos broke down. I froze a couple times, broke down, had to walk, had to tow some skidoos home.
Beautiful, you're special, you have a beautiful smile, and I think your eyes are amazing. Forgive me, I'm acting kinda crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Picture of Jesus hangs on your wall. Sometimes you find yourself crying. Wonder if it's worth anything at all to try to sober up. Moon is rise.
Fur Harvesters NWT wouldn't be possible without Fur Harvesters Auction, selling your fur to the world. Buffalo Airways, the home of the ice pilots. All internet equipment was brought to you by Cascom and Galaxy Broadband, and cruise accommodations were provided by Greenway Realty.
I'm pretty happy that I created the Wild North 4 years ago. I'm happy I got contacted by this production company to make Fur Harvesters NWT. If my mother did not buy me that $100 little camera, I would not be here right now.
Standing on the highway, companion, the moon.
Give us a clap, Jay. What's the matter with you?
Wanna go home. Yeah,
When I came to Helsinki, I wanted a souvenir. So this is my souvenir from Europe, from Helsinki, Finland. This is the NWT flag, the crest that we have in the Northwest Territories. So this symbol here represents Northwest Territories. It's got the Arctic fox, it's got the tree line, gold bars, Mackenzie River, and the ocean. So this is what I'm going home with. This is my souvenir, and I'm pretty happy and proud of it. I'm a very proud Northerner, Canadian, so I'm very proud to have this on my arm for the rest of my life.
yeah.